Nature's real superheroes. 5 animals with powers that defy physics. What if I told you that superpowers are real? No, I'm not talking about the ones you see in comic books or billion-dollar blockbusters. I'm talking about real-life superpowers, wielded by creatures that live right here on our own planet. They can punch with the force of a bullet, reverse the aging process to become biologically immortal, survive the cold vacuum of space, and turn invisible in the blink of an eye. These are abilities so extreme, they push the very limits of biology and physics. Today, we're diving deep into the animal kingdom to uncover the most incredible, mind-bending abilities that make our fictional superheroes look almost ordinary. Forget what you see in the movies. Get ready, because nature's Avengers are about to assemble. First up, meet the mantis shrimp. It looks like a psychedelic art project that crawled out of the ocean, but don't let its flashy appearance fool you. This little crustacean is pound for pound one of the most violent and powerful animals on Earth. It's superpower, a punch that literally breaks reality. There are 2 main types: spearers, which have spiny claws to impale soft-bodied prey, and smashers, which have evolved something far more brutal, a pair of club-like appendages. When the mantis shrimp attacks, these clubs accelerate from a dead stop to over 50 miles per hour, reaching an acceleration of over 10,000 Gs. To put that in perspective, the most highly trained fighter pilots can only withstand about 9 Gs before losing consciousness. The force is so immense, it's equivalent to a .22 caliber bullet, but the punch itself is only half the story. The strike is so fast that it rips the water molecules apart, creating a pocket of vapor in a process called supercavitation. This bubble immediately collapses on itself, and when it does, it produces a secondary shockwave. For a split second, the temperature inside that collapsing bubble reaches several thousand degrees Celsius, nearly as hot as the surface of the sun, and it even produces a flash of light. So, the mantis shrimp hits its victim not once, but twice with every single punch, first with the devastating force of the club itself, and then with a sonic superheated shockwave that stuns or kills anything nearby. It's a weapon so powerful it can shatter crab shells, dismember fish, and even crack aquarium glass, which is why keepers have to use special acrylic tanks. If that wasn't enough, its other superpower is vision beyond human comprehension. We humans have 3 types of color-receptive cones in our eyes, allowing us to see the world in a mix of red, green, and blue. The mantis shrimp has 16. It sees a universe of colors we can't even begin to imagine. Furthermore, it can see polarized light, which is invisible to us. This allows it to perceive patterns and signals that no other animal can, creating a secret communication channel for mating and territory disputes. It's like it's living in a cosmic high-definition wonderland, while the rest of us are watching a grainy, black-and-white movie. Super strength and cosmic vision? The mantis shrimp is the undisputed heavy hitter of the seafloor. Next, from hyper-violent to unbelievably cute, this is the axolotl, a type of salamander from the lakes near Mexico City that seems to have found the fountain of youth. Its superpower is one that has baffled and amazed scientists for decades: extreme perfect regeneration. Now, you might have heard of a lizard regrowing its tail. The axolotl takes that concept to a whole new level. It can regrow its legs, its tail, its jaws, its skin, and even damaged or completely removed parts of its internal organs, including its spine and its brain. And here's the most critical part: it does so without any scarring. When a mammal gets injured, it forms scar tissue, a quick, messy patch job. The axolotl, however, creates a perfect, fully functional replacement every single time. It can regrow a limb 100 times, and the 100th limb will be a flawless copy of the first. Let me repeat the most astonishing part: it can regrow parts of its brain. If a portion of its brain is removed, the axolotl doesn't just patch the hole. It rebuilds the lost neural structures good as new. So how does it do it? The secret is that the axolotl is essentially a baby its entire life. It's a phenomenon called neoteny, where it reaches adulthood without ever undergoing metamorphosis, like other salamanders. It keeps its feathery external gills and, most importantly, its youthful regenerative abilities. Its body is packed with stem cells that are always on standby, ready to rush to an injury site and rebuild whatever was lost, following the original genetic blueprint with perfect fidelity. It's no wonder that these smiling little creatures are superstars in medical research. By studying the axolotl's unique genetic code, scientists hope to one day unlock the secrets to human regeneration. This little creature might hold the key to healing spinal cord injuries, repairing heart damage, and reversing degenerative diseases. It's not just a superhero, it's a living blueprint for the future of medicine. Our next hero is the master of disguise and deception, the cuttlefish. Invisibility is a classic superpower, but for the cuttlefish it's just another Tuesday. These masters of illusion are relatives of the octopus and squid, but their abilities are so advanced, they make other camouflaging animals look like amateurs. Their secret lies in their skin, which is essentially a living, breathing, high-definition screen. This biological display is made of 3 distinct layers. The deepest layer contains leucophores, which act as a base coat, scattering and reflecting ambient light to create a perfect, passive white. The middle layer has iridophores, which are plates of cells that produce iridescent metallic sheens of blue, green, and gold by reflecting light at different angles. And then there's the top layer, the star of the show, millions of tiny pigment sacs called chromatophores filled with red, yellow, or brown ink. Each one is surrounded by a tiny muscle. By flexing and relaxing these muscles with neural commands, the cuttlefish can instantly change the size and shape of each individual pixel on its skin. By combining these 3 layers, the cuttlefish has unparalleled control. It can match the color, brightness, and even the texture of sand, rocks, or seaweed in less than a second. But they don't just use it to hide. They use it to hunt, creating mesmerizing, strobing light patterns on their bodies to daze their prey, essentially putting them in a hypnotic trance before striking. They also use it to communicate, displaying complex, shifting messages to rivals and potential mates. They are the ultimate spies of the deep, masters of camouflage, hypnosis, and communication, all thanks to their living, thinking skin. Now for a power that seems to defy life and death itself. Meet Teratopsis dohrnii, better known as the immortal jellyfish. This tiny creature, no bigger than a pinky nail, possesses a superpower that humans have dreamed of for millennia, the ability to cheat death by reversing the aging process. Like other jellyfish, it goes through a life cycle. It starts as a tiny larva, which settles on the seafloor and grows into a polyp colony. This colony then buds off genetically identical, free-swimming jellyfish. These jellyfish grow, mature, and reproduce. Normally, after this stage, they would grow old and die. But the immortal jellyfish has a trick. When it gets old, injured, or faces stressful conditions like starvation, it can do something extraordinary. It absorbs its tentacles, sinks to the ocean floor, and its cells undergo a process called transdifferentiation. This means its specialized adult cells, like muscle or nerve cells, can transform back into their earliest, unspecialized form, creating a new polyp. From this polyp, the jellyfish is reborn, starting its life cycle all over again with the same genetic identity. Imagine a butterfly instead of dying, being able to turn back into a caterpillar, and then a chrysalis to be born anew. Or a chicken turning back into an egg. That is what the immortal jellyfish does. It's not invincible. It can still be eaten by predators or die from disease, but it is biologically immortal. It holds the secret to resetting its own biological clock, a power that makes it one of the most unique and fascinating creatures on our planet. Finally, we've seen strength, regeneration, stealth, and immortality. But what about the ultimate defensive power? Absolute invulnerability. For that, we have to shrink down to the microscopic world and meet the toughest animal in the known universe, the tardigrade. This tiny, 8-legged creature, also known as a water bear, looks like a gummy bear that shrunk in the wash, but it is virtually indestructible. Tardigrades can survive conditions that would instantly kill almost any other life form. They can withstand the crushing pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, 6 times what would obliterate us. They can survive temperatures from near absolute zero to well above the boiling point of water. They can endure doses of radiation 1,000 times higher than the lethal dose for a human. And most famously, they can survive the cold, airless, irradiated vacuum of outer space. In 2007, scientists sent a group of tardigrades into space on a satellite, exposing them to the vacuum and deadly solar radiation for 10 days. When they returned to Earth, many of them were just fine. They just needed a little water, and they were back to lumbering around like nothing happened. Their secret is a state of suspended animation called cryptobiosis. When conditions get tough, the tardigrade curls into a desiccated ball called a ton. It expels over 95% of the water in its body and replaces it with special, unique proteins known as tardigrade disordered proteins. These proteins form a protective glass-like matrix inside its cells, a process called vitrification. This bioglass locks its cellular machinery in place, preventing its DNA and proteins from being shredded by ice crystals, heat, or radiation. It essentially hits the pause button on life itself and can wait for decades, maybe even centuries, until conditions are good enough to come back. It's the universe's ultimate survivor, a punch that boils water, a brain that rebuilds itself, skin that becomes a living television, a jellyfish that never dies of old age, and an animal that can take a vacation in the vacuum of space. These aren't just cool party tricks. Each of these incredible abilities evolved over millions of years, a perfect solution to the challenges of survival. They show us that the natural world is more creative, more bizarre, and more powerful than anything we could ever invent. It makes you wonder, what other incredible superpowers are still out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered? So which of these animal superpowers would you want? Let me know in the comments below. I think I'd have to go with the axolotl's regeneration. Say goodbye to paper cuts. If you enjoyed having your mind blown by the secrets of the animal kingdom, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.